Fun fact, telepathy is already sort of possible. Researchers at the University of Seattle worked on what's called a brain-to-brain interface, or BBI, and it was a really interesting way that two different people were able to communicate using only their minds. This study was made of pairs of two people. One was called the sender, and one was called the receiver. The sender had what's called an electroencephalogram, or an EEG, attached to their brain that was able to sort of read the electrical state of their brain when they would think of something. They had this game set up where they had to shoot or press a button to fire at these ships, but they didn't have the button to press it. Somebody else, the receiver, in a different room a mile away, had the button. So how did they communicate? The receiver had what was called a transcranial magnetic stimulus device. This TMS would then stimulate a part of their brain, which would cause them to then press the button. But they couldn't see the screen, so they didn't know when they had to press it. So this meant that the sender would see the screen and think about pressing the button. It would be sent to a computer to interpret it, and would then send over to TMS for the receiver. And the receiver would then reach out and push the button without consciously thinking about it. This was an involuntary response. Their body just did it because they signaled or stimulated the brain to do it. Here's an image from that exact study. The little screen for the game is up there. So this sender would think about pressing the button, and it would get sent to the receiver, who would then involuntarily press it. So in a way, telepathy is sort of already a real thing. They are communicating to each other via their brains from a mile away. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that fun?